we're going to do what's called ocean breathing. And all you're going to do is you're going to have your hands in front of the body and you're going to breathe in and out. So the hands don't quite touch, the palms facing the Laogong point at the center of each palm. It's kind of aiming one at the other, both hands. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe in, the hands are going to expand like a wave. Breathe out, they come back together. And as you breathe in, you might straighten the legs just a little bit without locking the knees, and then breathe out. And then the hands can come back toward each other. So you're just going to breathe in and expand. Breathe out and release. Like a wave. And you can breathe faster than I'm breathing or slower. You can experiment with how big the wave is of the hands. You can just play around with it, but just breathing in as there's expansion. Breathe out and release. And we're going to talk about Aesop's fable of the mouse and the frog. And so in one version of it, a mouse and a frog become friends. And it's a bit of an unusual friendship because the mouse does really well on land, but not so well in the water. And this frog does really well, both on land and in the water. But they're friends, they like each other, they like hanging out, and they want to be together more. And the frog suggests that, well, maybe if they just tie themselves together, they can stick together even more. And we don't know, but let's assume that the mouse goes along with this idea. So frog ties frog's leg to that of the mouse, and they're doing all right for a while, they're together a lot, they're laughing. But then, I don't know, at one point the spirit moves the frog to jump in the water. He jumps in the water and takes Froggy with him, and it doesn't go so well. And unfortunately, the mouse drowns. And the mouse gets kind of bloated and is floating along, still tied to the frog. And I guess the frog doesn't notice. I mean, frog is not a very careful friend, to say the least. The hawk sees the floating mouse and swoops down and grabs the floating mouse out of the water. And of course, frog is taken along with the mouse, and the hawk eats them both up. That's the fable. And the moral is, don't have friends. Let's try it again. Still sticking with the ocean breathing. Breathing in as you expand. Breathe out as you release. So in one version of the story, a mouse and frog are friends. The frog specifically wants to teach mouse how to swim, and maybe mouse is apprehensive, maybe not, but mouse goes along with it, and so they tie themselves together. Maybe frog does the tying, and they get to the water, frog jumps in, and mouse goes in with him just because he has to, he's tied to him, and it doesn't go so well. And mouse is getting ready to drown. He's struggling, and frog is not helping. And mouse gets angry and curses frog and says, even though I'm going to die, I am going to get you for this, even after death. And the mouse dies. And the frog's, I guess, still swimming. And a hawk comes down and sees the dead floating body of the mouse, grabs the mouse, flies off, and the frog gets dragged along with them, and then they both meet their demise at the hands of the hawk. And I guess the moral of the story is Qigong is your only friend. And you can keep going with the waves of the ocean, or if you like, you can bring it down to kind of a still point and holding the hands however far apart the connection between them feels strongest. The Laogong point at the center of each palm lined up one toward the other. If it feels strongest to have the hands closer, then have them closer. If wider than I'm doing it, have them wider. If it all feels the same, just pick a point and declare victory. All right, let that go. If you like, you can shake it out. That's that.